Hello, you're listening to Spiritual Freak Show, and I am Angel Face, your host. Welcome back to the podcast. This is episode 4. And if you're watching this video on YouTube, hello, I started a new podcast and I have not put out the episodes on YouTube because I recorded them on audio. So go check them out on Spotify or Apple or any of the Google Play, any of the podcast places. But I will be recording video for our our next episodes. I was trying to figure out a better technology solution, but I haven't gotten there yet. So we're just going back to the old microphone headphone. We're going back to recording on my computer. And as we continue episodes, we're going to figure out how we can evolve and make the audio crisper and everything better. And I had a microphone, I recorded with a microphone the other day. It did not sound as good. So I have to do some editing. But yeah, I'm just trying to figure it out and I just want to put out content. So I'm going to what I know. And that's your reminder too. Sometimes you don't have to be perfect. You just have to put it out because you have something to share and something to say. And that's me. So as I continue to do this podcasting thing, I will get better and better and better. And eventually I will pay someone to do it. But hi. I'm Grace Lannon. I'm a psychic medium, and this is my podcast. Today, I thought we could do something fun and do a little reading and maybe a little channeling and open up to some energy and just see what wants to come through. I wanted to kind of bring some psychic messages, so I brought out some oracle cards. If you're watching the video, you can see the cards. If you're listening to the audio, I will post these on Instagram. Angelface.grace is my Instagram. Links in the show notes if you want to see the pictures of the cards we pulled. But I wanted to pull an Archangel card and a Goddess card and just see if there's any energies that want to support us in this time. So right now, if you're listening to this in real time, it is the end of August in 2024, and this message is applicable at any time. So if you hear this at a later date, that's fine too. But I also kind of like to tap into that collective energy. I know we're going to have a new moon in a few days, so that is always a good time to plant some energy seeds and watch them grow. And I love to think of things in that way where we can set our intentions, sow our seeds, and put that energy towards something. But then we need to take action upon it. I did an interview today and we were talking about that. So you'll hear more about that in the future when I air the episode. But it's really about the actions that we take to see the results for the things that we desire. We can't just sit around and wait for things to happen all the time. There is divine timing. There is time for rest. You don't need to constantly be doing. Because I think sometimes when people say you need to take action, there's some people that need to relax. There's some people that need to relax. But you can't just think your dreams into reality. You have to take steps to make that happen. So there is magic and energy behind that, but then there is also um the physicality of that, which means taking steps. I also feel a lot of energy moving in my throat, so I'm sorry to those listening, but I have to take a sip of water. Um, so what I pick up off that is for some people that might be saying something, having a conversation, um, asking for what you need, standing up for yourself, like those kinds of things, because sometimes that energy gets stuck in the throat. But it's also the words that we speak over ourselves. Like sometimes we are constantly putting ourselves down, constantly putting ourselves down. So we don't even believe that we're able to get the things that we want because we subconsciously or consciously are talking shit about ourselves. And we need to identify where those ideas come from. Why do we think these things about ourselves and how can we let go of them? That's like such a big important seed and it just shows up again and again and again. And a lot of times, the seeds, everything comes down to a seed because that's just the way I see it in my psychic mind as these little seeds. Um, but like the origin point of like disorder, disease in our body often comes from our ideas and our mind and our emotions. Um, that's kind of where things begin. So if we think about something over and over and over again a certain way, like how do we expect it to show up in our life if we're like, oh, I'm never going to do this, I'm never going to do that, like I fail again and again, like I'm this, I'm that, I'm a loser, whatever, like stupid stuff you think about yourself, because we all have our like negative storylines that we play over and over again. But that's what we need to clear out because that is where things begin. Um, so if we want to see change in our body, our world, the physical stuff, like you want to feel less anxious, more relaxed, whatever your intention or your goal is, um, it's really about changing those perspectives from the beginning, origin point. So if we can learn to clear out the storylines, then we can replace them with new stories. So basically we're reprogramming ourselves. But that sounds like more mechanical, and I feel like it is more of a ebb and flow kind of energy because sometimes these things reoccur in new ways and we haven't really been able to locate that um origin point for ourselves of why we feel the way that we feel. And we also don't always need to know why to let it go, but sometimes it is a relief in our mind that allows for freedom in the body, breath to come in. Like we're like, oh, okay, I understand. It's that clarity, it's that understanding. Um, you don't need clarity and understanding to let go of things and to heal. Um, but I feel like sometimes if we don't understand something, we can recreate these scenarios for ourselves over and over again because we want to understand it. And maybe that's just some of us, some of us that like a puzzle. But if we can locate these areas in our energy field, then we can go into those layers of ourselves emotionally, mentally, and then as well as physically. So, massage I find very effective because the body, there's many physical reasons why this happens, but this is just a spiritual, psychic, energetic perspective. There's physiology and all the things, but the body often creates these holds in these energetic spots that hold energy, or energy gets trapped, and that can become stiffness or knots or little adhesions in our muscles. And so when you get massage, oftentimes you're able to release a lot of emotions. That's why a lot of people cry, I think. Or with my facials, I'm doing a lot of massage and I find that people cry or they fall asleep. And I feel like that's a way that we can process energy. Sleeping is a huge way we process energy through our dream state. And then we also rejuvenate our cells and do all the things that we need to do for our bodies to work properly. I'm going to pull a card for us. I'm shuffling these cards. But anyway, if we can move these energies out, it's easier to reprogram our beliefs. So let's pull a card. So these are, oh, my nose is getting itchy. Ooh, that's always like a psychic sign for me that energy is coming in. These are called Archangel light codes. I love these cards. So they all are connected to different energies. Most being the archangels, but as opposed to the cards being like pictures of angels, like drawings or paintings or whatever, they all hold different light codes, which essentially are like symbols. Like in Reiki, we have our Reiki symbols that mean different things and do different things. So these symbols are all connected in the perspective of this woman who made the deck, Leanne Cocklet, connected to these different archangels. So with light codes, the idea, at least in my mind, and what I have connected to and understood through my guides, is that they are almost like a packet of information. Like I always describe it as a folder or a file, like in a computer, and you can send that file to someone and they can download it. The light codes are kind of like that. So it's a shape, but the shape also contains energy, frequency, information. So some people who are very, very psychically attuned, they might look at it and feel sensations or get little images in their mind or hear things. And then, more other people, it's more on a subconscious level, and you just kind of subtly are attuned to the energy, or maybe you'll feel something when you meditate on the symbol. But, depends on your sensitivity level, like how deeply you might perceive these things, because some people are not very visual, but you might perceive it in a more sensational way. Like I'll draw different symbols and stuff, and certain people will feel them more physically, uh, like a tingling or a warmth or a um healing sensation, similar to Reiki. Symbols hold power. So we all know symbols hold power. When you see certain symbols, you know exactly what that means. You already know the packet of information because you know what that means. Like if you see like brands use symbols all the time. Like if you see a certain logo, you're like, oh, that's blah, blah, blah. I know they do this and that. So, these are energetic symbols. We just don't already know the association. So you might pick up on the symbols um, and learn the associations through your own intuitive connection. That's the intention, at least. But yeah, who wants to say hi? What's the energies that want to come in? I'm going to pull 3 cards for us, and then I'm going to pull another card from the goddess deck that I have over here. Okay. Okay, well, 4 cards, 5 cards want to come out. And then I'm going to shuffle this deck, the goddess one, and get the cards, and then we'll go through the reading. So these are called Goddess Power Oracle from Colette Baron Reed. I love these. I just love to pick Oracle decks based on the imagery. Sometimes I'm trying to get the mic. Sometimes the information in the little booklets resonates with me, and sometimes it doesn't. But I really like it to look at that stuff when I'm first getting to know a deck, so I can really like kind of get the messages that the person intended to bring forward. And sometimes I feel like that stuff is really important. But I usually like to kind of like tune into what I feel, and then I'll read the deck after to kind of either get confirmation or expand on the messages for myself. So Oracle decks are different than tarot. Tarot is a 78 card deck that's based upon specific meanings. And as we know, if you're a longtime listener of this podcast, oh, cool. I do want to talk more about the tarot, so eventually we will do that. But it's different because those cards all have specific meanings assigned to them, and then you kind of learn that language and you can expand upon it with your intuition, versus the oracle deck is based upon the creator of the deck, what their perspectives are and whatever imagery they want. Like I have so many decks, including like a dragon deck and like I don't know, they're all different and they all hold different energies. So when I pull cards, I like to kind of play around with the different energies and the different frequencies. So goddesses hold different energies than um archangels or angels in general, like they all hold different frequencies. Same if you're connecting to loved ones in spirit, like that's a different channel. Like I kind of think about it as, yeah, channels or frequencies or levels of communication. So we can talk to different energies on different levels. Um, and same like if I open up to doing this collective reading versus a reading for myself, I can kind of see at different experiences because I'm kind of picking up on more than just myself, which I think is easier just because there's more energy available. Um, I do like to pull cards and do readings for myself, and I connect with my guides all the time, and I really practice that experiential work with myself, like connecting to different loved ones in spirit and energies and whatever frequencies. But I sometimes find it easier to do a reading collectively because you're picking up on also the energy of like everything around you, which includes you. So oftentimes when I do that, it's like there's information for me in that reading, but I feel like it comes from more of like an unbiased perspective. Like if I listen back to this or a different reading I do, I'll be like, oh, okay, I get um how that's relevant for me versus if I'm doing for a reading for myself specifically, I'm thinking about myself more, and then it's easy to like create biases or like think about the information in the way that you want it to be rather than the way that the energy is telling us. I had to move my legs because they were falling asleep. Oh, bear with me. Bear with me as I switch this setup a little bit. So we have our Archangel cards. So I'm going to share with you the cards and then we'll go into the messages. So we have Archangel Haniel, Divine Joy. I'm going to show the images just for like a few moments so you guys can kind of pick up on those symbols and see, okay, do I pick up on it, any energy? And for those listening on audio, again, this is just a frequency and energy. So perhaps let's just hold space to see how you feel about this message. So it's a blue card. Go, all the symbols are gold on here. Gold energy holds its own frequency and it's very high vibrational. Gold and platinum kind of hold all the frequencies together. So they are a good kind of like sealer of energy. Like once you clear stuff out, you can kind of seal it in platinum, seal it in gold. Kind of like, if you were making jewelry. Excuse me, the throat is clearing. Um, like if you're making jewelry and you're melting gold and you sealed everything in gold to hold it together. So Archangel Hanael, bringing in divine joy. We have Archangel Lumael, the light of union. Again, I'm just going to bring all the images, hold the frequencies up, and then we'll go into the messages. The light of union. Union can be one with God, with your divine union, romance, partnership, that kind of stuff. But it's also connection with thyself and union with all that is, connection to above, the earth, and below. So below, animals, ancestors, that lower world energy. This is earth, middle plane, where we are existing. And then the cosmic energy, if we can turn down our energy to create groundedness within as well as above, then we can access all that is within that middle plane, which is earth. So meaning if we are grounded and relaxed and at peace and happy, we can tune into both the past and the future. We can tune into both our guides energies and spirit, the future, psychic, whatever, happiness, joy, peace, love, prosperity, all those divine high vibrational energies. And then we can also be grounded into the earth and connect with our past, which is our ancestors, family, being able to heal any experiences that we need within our physical body so that we can be one with God, which is source, what creator, whatever what you want to call that. I like saying the God word because for a long time that word was very uncomfortable for me to say, and now I'm like, God, I love God, but it not in the way that some people love God. I'm not religious at all. But like I feel like I had to kind of claim and heal that word for myself. So I say it, but if that's not the word for you, source, creator, divine, infinite love, whatever, same but different. Or same but same. Then we have Archangel Azrael, which I love because I just did a prayer yesterday or 2 days ago with Archangel Azrael, and I feel very connected to this angel in terms of mediumship. And I feel like this angel comes in to help those who are wanting to help others cross over to the other side. I don't feel like spirits are confused on how to do that, but I think just having that love and support to guide them on their journey is very important. Um, for the most part, I don't think they're like floating around like, wow, how do I get out of here? I'm not worried about that. But I think Archangel Azrael creates this almost divine rainbow energy that helps us transform from physical to celestial and become that oneness love, oneness light, oneness vibration. This is celestial peace and unity. Yeah, I love that. Just going into the infinite, and we are all one with that. And we can be one with that. Where's Lumeo? We can be one with that if we are grounded in our experience in peace, prosperity now, like moment, not just like thinking of the future of how I can have that in the future. It's like, how can I feel blessings and abundance in this moment? How can I feel joy, peace, and happiness in this moment? Or how can I simply observe this moment? Because not every moment is joyous. But when we try to escape our emotions, then again, that's when we begin to seed those traumas or whatever. Big T, little T traumas that become knots and little crunchiness within the body and the energy field. We have Archangel Shamuel, the gateway of direction. I love this one because the symbol kind of looks like a little angel. Like those little, my grandma used to have these little silver for Christmas, little silver angels that were shaped like that with just a triangle and a circle and teeny wings. But these are big, bad, batty boy wings. We have the gateway of direction. What direction are we going to take? Can we follow our heart? I also love that. Oh my God, there's a little heart in the card. I didn't even notice. I love this card. It is pink and purple. And Archangel Shamuel was one of the first story time was one of the first angels that I connected to on my spiritual journey when I first started getting into Reiki, and I felt like they helped guide me, and I would see them as a pink energy. So it makes me really happy they used to that this artist used this color scheme to depict their energy. But for me at the time I was connecting, oh, and that's like this. If you're not watching the video, I have a big painting that I drew behind me, and it's like the same colors, pink and purple. Um, but anyway, I found connecting to Archangel Shamael was very helpful for me in terms of direction. So I love that this is gateway of direction, but direction in terms of career and using spirituality in that context of working with clients and stuff like that. Like they came up again and again when I first started connecting with Reiki and deciding, okay, I want to see clients and not just do this, not just for me. Their energy was very helpful in guiding me in kind of what direction to take. But doesn't have to be necessarily career, but it could be just asking for help to understand what road to take. If you feel like you're at a crossroads, Archangel Chamuel can be helpful to understand how you can follow your heart. Follow your heart. Sometimes we're numb to our heart and to our emotions. Again, we don't know how to tap into that. So this energy can be really helpful to help us tap in. And then yeah, Archangel Azrael, we have Archangel Lumael, the light of the union. God and me and God are one. And then divine joy. Like we all have the ability to connect with joy. It feels really difficult if that is something that you don't typically experience. And like on my journey with spirituality, it was so many layers of releasing emotions that disconnected me from joy and pleasure and love and peace and like the positive things. Like I felt like I was such a Eeyore type of person. Now I'm a piglet. Overly annoyingly positive. But I'm joking, but I can connect, but I think it's important to connect to all aspects of our emotions. Like before, I was really tapped into more of those negative emotions and not as much tapped into the positive. And then I felt like it was a teeter-totter to understand like how can I process these emotions rather than leaving them. So that's how we get to the origin points. That's how we get to the origin points, like finding and locating where these things begin inside of ourselves. And that's why I love things like shamanic journeys, because it can help show us where those origin points are, but it doesn't have to be so logical. We don't have to think so much in our mind about the things, because sometimes these things are traumatic. Sometimes these things we don't want to remember and like have a whole processing experience or going to therapy for 12 years about. Like sometimes we just want to like let this shit go. So that's why I love a shamanic journey or shamanic healing experience, because you can really let that stuff go without having to have as much logical processing when it comes to it. Reiki is also very helpful. But I find the journey work was so extremely helpful for me to go into some of those deeper painful places, because I didn't have to. You see it, you see in metaphors. I don't know why I'm hearing it in such a specific accent that I cannot recreate, but it's like you see it in metaphors. You see it in metaphors. So like, if I'm going to connect with my inner child, like maybe I'll see her as me, but maybe I'll see her as like a cat, something random. And then I'm like, it can be like a very crazy thing, but it all has meaning. We don't need to understand the meaning. Sometimes we understand the meaning 10 years later, but sometimes we don't, and sometimes we don't have to. And that's why I like it, because we don't, again, need to be so much in the mind. And then if we really need that why answered, I think that's where we can um, get that satisfaction without going too deep into the reprocessing experience of where these issues came from. Um, because again, I think that can get us stuck in unnecessarily painful rehashings. Know what I'm saying? Okay, then we have the authority, the energy of authority. This is like yellow, and um that's our solar plexus, inner authority, willpower, like that's our truth, the solar plexus. But yeah, and then we have some orangey energy in there too. So the creation, like we are the creators within and without. You have the authority to do what you need to do. You're in charge. You're an adult. If you're not an adult listening, I don't know. How old are you? If you're like 12 or 13, maybe, but otherwise, maybe don't listen to this. But like you're an adult, you can make decisions for yourself. You have the authority. And you also have the authority to change. If you want change, you have to make it happen. Actions, action, 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 baby. I want to read, just see what she says in here. So the authority. Why am I thinking about Cartman like from South Park? Respect my thought time. Um, that like brings me back to middle school. Very haunting. Um, but yeah, respect. R such a bad speller. RESPCT. Where'd she go? The authority. Okay. So this is what the guidebook says. In case there's a message in here for us, I'm going to read these. The authority, the power to write your next step, your next thought, your entire reality comes from your higher self. Your soul, inner authority is waiting for you to listen and respond. It is your quiet inner voice that guides and nurtures. Take the time to listen, synchronize with your all-knowing self, and write the story of your life. Boom, exactly what we're talking about. You are the one to make the decision. I know it's really hard, but I believe in you. I believe in you. And that's also why I love teaching people about psychic development, intuitive development. And that's why hopefully you're listening to this podcast to also open up your intuitive spiritual gifts more and more, is to be able to turn up the volume on that inner authority and inner knowing and inner trust, um, so that we can really do the things we want to do, and we can actually not second guess ourselves and self-sabotage, and like so we can like break free of all that jazz. Let's see. Okay, Archangel Azrael, fear not the transition of ending. It is simply a new beginning. Recall your entirety and amalgamate your total essence into your present. Hold on to nothing, fear nothing, live, laugh, and love. Live, laugh, love, says Archangel Azrael. And for me, this message resonates so much because I'm really like trying to go through a process of like letting go of like literal things, which I've been doing for literal years. But now it's like digital space, like recordings and different things like that. And a previous video I did, we talked about this, like cleaning up your digital space, but I didn't listen. So now I'm kind of going through that experience now, but it's just like about letting go, like, um, and that's also about the emotions, the seeds, the blockages, the fears, the shame, the doubt, whatever's like clogged in your heart. Archangel Azrael can help us let it go. Like we literally have access if we boom Archangel Lumiel, if we are boom connected to all that is, we don't need things and stuff and things. We have and memories and blah, blah, blah. It's all accessible when we need it. Um, so pains and things like that, we don't need to hold on to them if we can transform them, and then they're accessible as, again, memories that we can tap into, or information that we can tap into rather than it taking up space within us. So yeah, Archangel Azrael is here to help us. It's a new beginning. Shamuel says, gaze with me upon your life through the eyes of infinite love. What beauty abounds within you and your experiences. Move with gratitude of the soul. Trust in in the interconnectedness. Live the flame of your internal love and flourish. Living your life like this, I think, is so important. Like I was walking today, and like I walk every single day. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you know, like today was literally 764 days in a row that I've gone on a walk. And like I observe people, and sometimes I see people walking alone, and sometimes I see people like walking with their families or walking with their partners or friends or whatever like that. And the other day I was just kind of like reflecting, like seeing like these older couples like going on a walk at dusk, and like they were wearing a matching sweatshirt, and I just was like observing them, and I was just thinking about how I would like something like that. Like when I get old, like I want someone to walk with me at sunset with a matching shirt. And you know, I'm not going to be able to have that if I hold and hoard myself away from the world and don't actually live and experience the world. So if I want the things that I desire, which is like a future and family and happiness and joy, and of course success and money and all those things too. But like I'm talking about relationships, but like if I want someone to walk in the sunset with, I need to experience my life and not just experience my mind. So that's a reminder for you guys, like for the things that you want, like if you, whether it's a relationship, whether it's, oh, I want to start doing psychic readings, or I want to open up my own business or start a blog or whatever it is, like for you listening, like you have to do stuff, take action, leave the house, experience life. Like you can't just live in your mind or live virtually. Like I do a lot of virtual work and I absolutely love the internet, and you guys are here right now with me on the internet. And feel so proud of the power of the internet, like in terms of what I've been able to do and connect with people all over the world. But I also know how important it is for us to find those experiences in the real world. So, um, allow the internet to be a space of connection, and then also allow yourself to connect outside, literally outside. Um, so yeah. And then we have a few more. We have this last message. Joy is the focus of existence. It is to be found through many forms. Walk with me with pointed focus to find the true source of joy. Joy is within you and within the all. So asking Archangel Hanael, like if you feel disconnected from your joy, asking them to show you how to access that joy again. Like allow those nudges to fuel you and like show you where to go. Like for me, the daily walks was a huge catalyst for my joy and like reconnecting with my body and allowing myself to feel joy and peace within my body and not punishing it and not like feeling like I have to work out or whatever. It became like this fun, pleasurable, divine experience where I can connect with nature and all that is. And then I also am fueling my body with like care and love, and also showing myself that it's possible to be consistent. So asking for assistance to find that divine joy. And then Lumael says, feel Gaia's heart chakra guide your steps as you connect and listen to the earth chakra. Align your light body and be present. Here you will find synchronicity and your divine path. So yeah, when you're present, you're able to notice things. Noticing is the communication symbol. If you can notice things, you can process them, get the information you need, understand. Like if you're not paying attention, you're not going to be able to receive the synchronicities. And I've talked about this on Angel Face Magic Hour previous podcast, probably many, many times, but I'll remind people who are new listeners or remind people who need the reminder that there's a fine line between obsessively writing down every symbol and every angel number and everything has meaning and like the fucking that movie with Jim Carrey, the number 23, where he loses his mind. Like there's a fine line between that and between communicating with the divine and allowing the symbols to guide you. So just if you're getting obsessive in a way that is negatively affecting your life and allowing you to not be in the present, which is the opposite of what the symbols and the synchronicity should be doing. It should be allowing us to be more present and be like, wow, the miracle of life, not like, oh my God, like another symbol. Don't spin out on it. Like this is here to show us presence and show us, yes, we are all connected. We're all connected. Um, but yeah, to walk that line and allow the symbols to guide you and take you into presence. When they don't, put it down for a minute, come back to your body, come back to your breath, come back to reality. The symbols are real. The synchronicities are real. You are real. Don't freak out. Because it can be overwhelming. But the whole purpose is to align us with the present and the now. So if it's not doing that, take a little back step. Let me reapply my lip gloss as we transition to the goddess deck. So a couple days ago, I got a reading with Rachel, who was just on the podcast, episode 2. Check it out. But I got a reading with her, and Mother Mary came through. Guess who this card we pulled? Mary. She's everywhere. I went to the store today too, and I got a bunch of flying microphone. Hello, hello. I went to the store today, and I got a bunch of Mother Mary candles. And then here she is again. Number 34. Also, I'm 34. That's how old I am. Oh, we're dropping stuff. The lighting actually looks better there though. Hi, I'm wasting your time. Just kidding. This is important. Mother Mary, miracles, miracles, miracles can happen. I think of the Princess Diaries song, and then I should know how to say this because I am Irish, but this is the goddess, but I don't. The goddess Sarah Dewin, potential. Connect to that potential. You have the potential to connect to the infinite. And look how, if you look at her, she has this beautiful, like sapphire looking third eye and like crown and energy opening up in her third eye. And that's her divine potential. We have the number 9. I'm a life path number 9. Let's read their messages, and then I want to just kind of channel in to their energy and see if they have anything to say. But let me see. I'm gonna Google if I can get the pronunciation for her. This is like a Celtic goddess, I believe. I remember listening to a podcast about her, but I will be honest, I don't know her story. Oh, she's Welsh. She's Welsh, not Irish. I'm so sorry. Um, so Sarah DeWin. Sarah DeWin. Oh, Welsh, Irish, Gaelic origin. Fair, blessed. Wisdom and magical abilities. Celtic goddess of rebirth, transformation, and inspiration. So she's Celtic, so it does include Ireland, but yes, I remember she comes onto the ocean and there's like a whole rebirthing mythology with her. But yeah, it's that potential like of when we let things go, we can tap into the next chapter. Like you can't write the next book if you keep rereading. You can't read the next book if you keep rereading the last one. Like if you want to open up the next chapter, next book, you have to finish and just let it go. And sometimes we hold on to things because we're like, oh, I haven't really finished this, haven't really finished this, but then you don't actually ever go back to it. So it's just these open doorways, open portals, open this, open that, open energy. So we need to close and clear and let stuff go so that we can tap into our potential. And then, yeah, Mother Mary, most people I'm sure have heard of her, but she's Mother Jesus in the Christian and Catholic religions. And she is, yeah, she, had the Immaculate Conception. So the story was that she was a virgin when she gave birth and she brought forward this, miraculous birth where it came out of nowhere and out of nothing. And, if these things were to be true, that's probably not exactly how it worked, but either way, she brought forward this celestial energy, this transformative energy, which was Jesus. Um, and that did all sorts of healing stuff for the world. Okay, potential. You are a child of infinite potential, and the Celtic goddess Ceridwen is here to remind you of the power that resides in the womb of your heart and the chalice of your mind. Everything you need is coming together right now, as if your life's reflection were shining brightly in the golden liquid in Ceridwen's magical transformative cauldron. Imagine greatness, and there will be greatness. Envision peace, and there will be peace. Choose love, choose gratitude, and choose faith in the divine magic that flows through you. These are the only ingredients needed for the goddess Sarah to win to work her transformative magic on your behalf. Regardless of the limitations imposed on your world by fate, culture, and conditioning, your true destiny is coalescing on your behalf. You can be anything you imagine. Remember this. Dream and trust that everything you need exists to make that dream a reality. This is the promise of the goddess Saradwin. This is like exactly what we're talking about, you guys, and that's why I love to read these because it always aligns, it always aligns. Trust and believe you have everything that you need inside of you. Your inner authority, your inner knowing, your intuition, your infinite potential. You are limitless. I keep getting this message again and again the last couple days. You are limitless. Like the limit does not exist. The limit does not exist. The limit does not exist. When you become complacent in your comfort zone, you run the risk of never moving forward where you are. Your true potential remains dormant and inaccessible. This may feel like a vague boredom, an envy of others, or an anxiety accompanied by the sense of low self-worth, reinforced by habit, or an addiction to feeling like life will be amazing for everyone else but you. Damn, that's such a hard lesson to learn and a hard thing to hear, but that is the truth. Like, if we hide in the envy and the jealousy and the I wish I could do that, or they're just gonna do it better than me, so I never am gonna do it because everyone else is doing it and I'll never be able to pop off or to do what I want, then you're just hiding and not actually tapping into the potential because you're just telling yourself that you can't do it before you even do it. Again, heed these words. Or an anxiety accompanied by a sense of low self-worth reinforced by habit or an addict, blah, 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 blah. We just said that. Or in so many cases, it's just being trained into you after generation upon generation of oppression and conformity. Boom, the ancestral healing needs to happen for us to be free of the worries of society. Society, the goddess Sarah Dewin comes to remind you that it's time to course correct. Your alignment task is to turn around by releasing all judgment towards yourself and others and reclaiming those dreams you seem to have lost. Write down those dreams and set your intentions, and look in the mirror, imagining that you are looking into Sarah Dewin's transformative cauldron, and say them out loud as if they already have happened. It's hard for me to read out loud sometimes, you guys, because I'm like on the dyslexia um spectrum, but I am trying. Um, you are so much more than you allow yourself to be. Only good will come from your growth. Your dreams and cherished desires are important to the divine. The way is simple and profound. Just say yes with gratitude in your heart, and the goddess Sarah Dawn will leave you to discover your highest good. So yeah, I think it's just like admitting to yourself what you want, but also like creating that action plan for yourself and then allowing the energy of the goddess, energy of the archangels, the energy of spirit to help assist you in letting these stories, these programs, these seeds of information go so that you can actually tap into the potential and not get stuck in a loop of blockages of I can't do it. I'm not good enough. That that, sir, is a lie. You are good enough. You're better than you thought. Mother Mary, 34. Mary, Mother of Miracles, has come to celebrate with you today. She is here to remind you of all the amazing wonders that are everywhere in your life right now. Look around you, especially in all the synchronistic events that have already taken place. Ever since you were born, events and opportunities come together to support you, guide you, show you love, and present the world as you see it. Look closely and see the hand of the divine working on your behalf. You are a powerful co-creator, and so you are responsible and accountable for the thoughts, feelings, and beliefs that seed your field of dreams. That's crazy. Love that so much. That is so crazy. Remember, miracles are uncanny evidence that are from the invisible world. Life springs into form without any reasonable cause for the effect. Mary gave birth as the great goddess was shown to do long before the Christian myth of Mary became real. She too proved herself to be the very essence of the creation itself. In this moment, Mary reminds you of those miracles that you too can call into being. You don't need a cause or an evidential fact or calculation to believe and see that miracles rise up in the conditions of your life. When Mary appears, you are reminded that you will never run out of miracles. Have you stopped believing in miracles? Do you think that you are only for Do you think they're only for others or doubted their existence? Could it be you've been reading and watching the news too often, so finding yourself feeling powerless and despondent? Or has the dry spell of your life gone so long that you have stopped looking for water? Have no fear, for Mary has a message for you. This is all in your mindset. This moment is an opportunity to turn things around, and it begins with your thinking. This is so like everything we were talking about. What if you remembered that your repeated thoughts, feelings, and beliefs call the world into form? What if you were recommitted to your co-creative partnership with the divine, and from there choose another way to experience your life? You have the power of Mary and the Mother of Miracles running through your veins. She did not need the seed of man from outside of her to give birth to a miracle. In the same way, you don't need your outer world to change first. You don't need someone to rescue you, love you, or take you away. You are the one you've been waiting for. You need only choose how you will respond to your current reality and focus on the day at a time in service to the miracle of life. What is for you has its own divine timetable. Your alignment task is to remember that. Mother Mary, remember your power. And I'm getting like some psychic messages. So I'll just share those real quick. But she's showing me like this big trunk. And if you open up the trunk, there's layers and layers and layers of different um like storage. And within that's all these jewels and gold and different like beautiful gems and stuff. And she's just saying like this is all within everyone. There's this trunk, this endless cascade of gems and jewels and platinum and gold and beautiful energies. And oftentimes it gets trapped within the trunk rather than allowing to move freely. Um, so oftentimes we store away these gifts, or we store away this light, this joy, this love, because it is harder to experience. Um, and it's hard to tap into our emotions because other people might find that uncomfortable. Um, and so we learn not to process them or understand them, when it's actually very easy, she says. It's actually very easy, okay, for you. Um, but we just hide everything away within this kind of layered, compartmentalized, like locked trunk. So she just wants to invite us all to open up that energy and explore what's inside of us. So if we can tap into our heart, we can tap into love. It's not outside of us, it's inside of us. But yeah, she shows like that divine gateway we were talking about. Um, Going from the heart back up to the back of the head and then into the third eye, being able to expand our vision of what is possible if we can open our heart. She says mine is almost open. It's not all the way there yet, but we're getting there. um, but it's hard. It's very hard. But it's actually not, is what she says. It's actually not. Um, yeah, and then I'm getting the color blue, like this icy blue color. Um, just like wrapping yourself up in that energy, in that blue energy, which is interesting because I was talking about, well, yesterday I was I'm doing this painting that's like all blues, and I usually paint pinks, but she's like wrapping in blue, us in this blue energy, and it's like silky. Okay, it is complete, she says. So she just was doing some clearing to help us open up the heart. And if you want to continue that process, you can invite her to come into your meditation or connect with you in prayer. Whatever your spiritual practice is, she is open to connect to you in different ways. She's a teacher. She will help teach you to open that heart. And she says, yes, because that divine love is so powerful just within, we hold all we need to connect to that divine union. So, external love, yes, is very important and part of the human experience and very joyful and um, a huge component of why we live and why we experience life is to find connection and love, romantic love, family, friendships. But the way she teaches and the way she embodied herself in her teachings was to find that within first. And it's like creating a circuit. Boop, doop, doop, doop. I see the circuits all the time. I'm still trying to figure out how to explain them to people because I try to explain and then it's more visual. So for those listening, it's like energy that goes in and out of itself, kind of like, yeah, a circuit or I don't know, it looks to me like those little trains that people would make in their house and they have like the little tracks. It's kind of like that where everything goes in and out, in and out, in and out, going on the track. And the what's going on the track is our energy. Um, but we're creating these, yes, cosmic circuit, which is something we talk about Reiki, but um essentially we are connecting again to the earth and to the cosmos within, which is our divine union, which is infinite love, which is what Mother Mary can help teach us. And she is here to lend understanding, processing. It feels just comforting, like energy, like she's placing her hand on our head and like, like a mama, like rub the back of your head, comfortable. Just comforting, like not you don't need a solution, just being able to hold that energy. Like she doesn't always have solution because that's not always what we need. What we need is someone to be there with us, someone to hold us, and that energy, she's there for that energy. She has solutions, she has answers, but what she's coming forward is more with that presence and that comfort and being remind us of the miracles that are possible when we tap into our heart. She's very beautiful. I love her. Okay. So those are our messages today. Thank you so very much for listening to Spiritual Freak Show. Let us just say a little healing prayer before we close out. So giving thanks. If you'd like and you're listening and you're not driving, you can close your eyes. I'm going to bring my hands to prayer position. You can bring your hands to your heart, your lap, your prayer with me, or wherever you'd like to place them to feel just a sense of relaxation for a few moments, feeling the energy move between your hands and your body. And if your hands are in prayer, feeling the energy between your fingertips. So giving thanks to Mother Mary, the goddess Sarah and all the angels that came forward to lend their energy. Any information that came forward, we give thanks. And I just ask that anyone listening now or later is able to receive the information, the insight that is valuable to them in this moment, allow them to align with the messages that they are meant to receive throughout divine time and space. And I ask to align everyone with that energy of infinite love, being surrounded in the circle with God, union, love, earth, and the cosmos, aligning ourselves with our soul and our higher self so we can connect deeper with our intuition and our inner knowing and our inner authority to feel like we feel safe, comfortable within our body to access all that information at once. And that's so we can call on Archangel Shamael or any other angels or energies that we feel divinely connected to help us process and understand that information, make it clear and concise, and bring it into a way that we can process and understand, whether that be visually, physically, mentally, or emotionally, and allow us to be surrounded by the light of Mother Mary, God, Source, Universe, blanketed in the energy of platinum, Reiki, light, transforming any energy that we moved or shift throughout this conversation to be released into the light, to be transformed into divine love. Healing energy can stay with you, with me, or within the space of this recording. Transform, transform, transform. Inviting in Reiki to support us as we integrate these messages, giving love, giving light, peace, prosperity to each and everyone listening, and allow you to connect with the wisdom within this transmission. I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So be it, so it is. Of course, we say thank you to Jesus too, because I have his candle lit right now as we are recording this, and I have to acknowledge him. And of course, the goddess Isis, because she always is present with me, and I ask her to connect and support me as I do my spiritual work. So, big ups. And of course, my alien friends and all the other guys that help support me as I share my messages. So, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you. So be it, so it is. Any energy that we moved or shifted again is released into the light to be transformed in by God, Source, Universe into divine love. Cleanse and clear, cleanse and clear, cleanse and clear. Any portals, doorways were open during this work. We ask them to be closed now, bringing all this energy back to its proper time, space, dimension. And that's my little prayer. That's my little prayer. So be it, so it is. Grounding our energy down. Grounding our energy down. So be it, so it is. That feels so good. I hope it feels good for you. Please let me know if these messages resonate. Connect with me, email me, DM me on Instagram. If you're watching this on Spotify, you can comment. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can comment. I want to know how that feels for you. And I'm looking forward to doing more readings here on Spiritual Freak Show. I have some great interviews coming up for you. And last week we put out a guided meditation. If you're watching this on YouTube, you gotta go watch the audio. I almost didn't put it out, you guys, because I realized how fucking loud my breath was when I was recording it. So that's why I kind of went back to this little mic to see if I can make it sound better. But I really felt like it was important to share either way. And just like you would be meditating with someone in real life, you would hear their breath. So it's fine. It's not a big deal. It's still a great meditation, but that inside of me was a story that I needed to heal and clear. And I have a lot of like little T like issues, little T trauma, um, with my breath and my voice and stuff like that. And just like that's a huge part of why I do the podcast too, and why I love to teach and why I love to do breath work. And also I re-added breath work ceremonies, one-on-one breath work sessions back to my website because I wanted to get back into it. And some other new offerings that I have. If you are interested in connecting with me one-on-one, check out my website, gracelandon.com. And yeah, I will see you guys next week. Enjoy your 3-day weekend if you're listening to this in real time. Monday is Labor Day in the US. I will be laboring and I will be working at the spa. So if you're in Sonoma County, you can also get Reiki sessions with me at Bliss Organic Day Spa in Sebastopol, California. And I do facials there, but I also do Reiki there. So if you are listening and have Monday off and you hear this, you're like, well, I don't even know if I have appointments, but either way, come see me. Love ya. I'll see you later. Bye. Happy new moon almost too.